YouTube? Welcome to In Between Two Beards. I'm Justin, aka Dub.
I'm Ryan.
And today we are doing a very long-awaited, very overdue review of the SMOK Alien. Now, we know that this mod has been out for a while, but it is such a popular mod, and it took the vape community by storm, I feel like. Like, I would say 1 out of every 5 people who are getting a beginner kit are going with the SMOK Alien.
Yeah,
so we felt compelled that we should be the ones to review it, especially considering we were its biggest critics, like, at first.
I refused. I refused to even give it a shot for the longest time.
Yeah.
Just, I had such a bad experience with a SMOK mod a couple years ago. His wife desperately wanted one of these.
We were like, no, fuck that, don't get that,
When she first started vaping, she was like, I think I'm going to get the Alien. I was like, no, save your money.
Do you also want to get herpes?
It's like, if you're going to waste $80, just give it to me, like, for real.
Right.
I'll buy alcohol
and
with it, but
chewing on those words now.
yeah, I ended up, when the Predator came out, it was like, well, shit, now we're going to have to do a versus kind of thing, and I'm going to have one of each. And
he bought his first, and within, like, 36 hours, he's like,
I was like, you gotta buy one.
I like it, man. Oh!
It's like, I didn't want to love it, but I do.
Oh,
I was like, dude, tell your wife I'm sorry, because I feel like a dick now, because she should have bought one. But anyway, we're not going to do an unboxing, because everyone has seen an unboxing of this mod 500,000 times.
We're basically going to do a quick down close, give you the basic menu functions, how to operate it, and then we're going to come out and talk about the pros and the cons, because this thing definitely has equal...
Yeah.
Everything good about it, it also has something really fucking shitty about it.
I disagree with that, but we'll get to there. So we'll be right back. All right, guys. Here's a real quick up close with the Alien by SMOK. I'm not going to go through the box just because, again, it's been done so many times. But here's the box it comes in. Obviously, if you get the kit, it's going to come with the Baby Beast tank. You got all your stuff there, and then your specs on the back. We're gonna flash all the specs up on the screen. I'll put the specs for the Baby Beast tank also, just so you know what the kit does come with. But yeah, there's the box. Obviously, you got your mod, charging and data cable, and the tank, extra glass coil. All that stuff is in the box. So here's the mod itself. I obviously have the orange one. Dub has the blue one, and then his wife has the rainbow. Iridescent, whatever they're calling these now, the rainbow version. But it's just 5 clicks on, and then it'll give you the software version here. There's a couple different softwares that they use, which is kind of confusing. There's an A and a B, and it just depends on what mod you got has which one. So like mine has the B version, and there's no updates for it that have come out over the last several months, but the A version has. So I'm not sure what all that's about. But anyway, I love the big screen on this thing. It gives you've got your wattage here. I love the dual battery readout. I really do. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but you've got your voltage as it's firing here, your ohms right here, the amps that you're drawing off your batteries. It tells you the mode again, which I think is completely redundant because you have the W right there saying it's in wattage. But anyway, you've got the actual temperature of the PCB board while you're using the mod, and then you've got a puff counter. Again, I just don't see the point in puff counters. You guys can see I've taken about 13,000 puffs on mine. I absolutely use my mod, my Alien, all the time. I absolutely love this. And then you have a little timer at the bottom. Excuse me. But to get into the menu system is just 3 clicks of the fire button. And then that takes you to either mode, puffs, settings, power, and then back to mode. If you hold the fire button on one of these, you can actually get into that sub-menu, scroll through, wattage, temp. You've got your custom TCR memory modes, and then back to watt. I'll go into temp real quick if you hold the fire button. Here's where you set your wattage for the temp control. Oh, you gotta hold it. And then it's going to ask you what kind of wire you're using. Here's nickel, titanium, stainless steel, and then back to nickel. And then you can change parameters on there. Again, as we've said so many times in every one of our videos, we don't mess with temp control. There are so many videos on the internet explaining that in much greater detail. So if you want to go into any deeper than that, just check one of those out. I'm going to go back into the menu and go back to wattage mode. But again, 3 clicks. It's going to take me there. Hold down the fire button. I'm going to go over till it says watt, and then hold down the fire button. Then it's going to ask you if you want normal strength, hard, or soft. I'm going with normal. As far as I can tell, the whole mode thing, it's been around for a little while. I've seen a handful of mods do that, but it changes the voltage, the strength of the voltage that it's hitting at. I don't mess with it. I leave it on normal all the time. It doesn't bother me. To lock the mod, there's two ways. You can either click the fire button 5 times, and then that's going to lock everything. You can't do anything at all while it's doing that. And then 5 clicks unlocks it, or hit the wattage up and wattage down buttons at the same time, real fast. You don't have to hold them. That's the way I do it because it's so much easier. I can do it with just my thumb. But then there's that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, then you got this little carbon fiber sticker here, Alien 220 and everything. You've got your battery door down here on the bottom. There's not really any venting on the bottom, but I guess they use the cracks on the side technically as the venting. It is nice and clearly labeled here. It also tells you what battery is what. So this is battery A, battery B. This one shows positive down, negative down. And then obviously down inside there you can't really see anything. It is very, very clearly marked in the bottom of there too. There's the big red positive sign and a big blue negative sign there. Again, the camera's not really picking it up, but regardless, we're going to talk a little bit more about it out when we go back out, but my biggest problem with this mod in general is the finish. And as you can see, just from where it rides in my cup holder all day at work, the paint is completely coming off there. It's not really showing up on the camera very well, but I've got quite a few paint chips there. Paint's rubbing off here. I dropped it in some gravel, and that took quite a bit of the paint off there and there. And Dub's having a very similar issue with his as far as on the bottom goes. Just the paint just isn't holding up. But again, we're going to go more into that when we get back out. But that's pretty much where I'm going to cut this off. I'm not going to take any more time. We're going to go back out and talk about it for a few minutes. All right, guys, that was just a real quick up-close kind of thing. Again,
the basics.
We know it's been done so many times, and the only reason we're doing this video is I mean, again, it's been reviewed by everybody, but it hasn't been reviewed by us.
Right, so, and we want to review it, because why the fuck not?
This is literally my everyday mod. I take this mod to work with me every single day.
Yep.
I have others that I'll float in and out of there, but I go back to this one, and number one reason why is the battery life.
Battery life on this thing is
I can get
awesome
with the big baby tank. I'm vaping it normally anywhere from 48 to 54, 55 watts,
depending on the juice.
Depending on the juice. I can get anywhere from a solid 11 to 14 hours out of a set of batteries in this mod. I'm not even joking. I can put batteries in the morning, go do my 13-hour day at work, come home, and still have 15, 20, 30% left on my battery.
It was a very nice fresh
air.
Yeah, fresh breath of air to see another mod that got on the level of Dominican.
Yeah, the battery life.
I'm not going to lie, I really did think that Dominican was the only mod on the market, whether it was the 1.5 or the 2, that had that stagger battery life, but this abso-fucking-lutely has that.
I don't have a Dominican 2, I know he uses a lot, but as far as the Dominican 1.5 goes, the battery life is better on this.
Yeah, Dominican 2 is...
by probably 2 hours.
Dominican 2 might be just a smidge better, but not enough to where you can measure it.
Yeah, I didn't want to love this mod, but I really do.
I didn't, me neither.
As we showed up close, my personal biggest con for this mod period is the finish. The finish is not holding up.
Yeah, you can see on the bottom here, like we showed in the up close, the finish is just... And I'm not being rough with this.
Right,
it's just sitting in my cup holder in my truck.
Literally from sitting in a cup holder, just the vibration. I have dropped mine a couple times, but not... I don't know, not... It didn't.
But you can even see where, like, the buttons are starting to rub just from pressing them. And
just anything that rubs up against this thing
it's
takes
just
paint
not
off.
A very...
and ours still look good compared to a lot of the ones I've seen online.
I've seen some rough,
where the paint is literally just is gone, but... As far as I'm concerned, that is my biggest con. The menu system, when I first got it, was a little bulky, but you get used to it quick. It's really not bad.
I don't think it's the easiest navigated menu system, but it's not
the hardest.
It's not the most difficult by any stretch of the means. My cons basically go as follows. It's not a big deal. Once again, you can do this any way you want, whether you fire it palm or you fire finger.
I like the switch on this.
At the same time, I still would have liked to have seen the button on the opposite side.
Right,
So what I'm doing that. But this is so easy to do, it's not that big a deal. The buttons, very clicky, all very clicky.
I've noticed on mine, the more I use mine, the fire switch is starting to get loose. Like, it's starting to move back and forth.
Mine's not too bad
And
yet.
the spring, I can tell, is starting to lose a little bit. But, again, I use this thing for 12, 13 hours a day, every single day.
You're probably logging at least 50 hours a week on this mod.
Absolutely. At least, bare minimum. If
exactly.
not more. So I can't really fault it for wearing out, because
Right.
I'm just wearing it out.
Yeah.
But that's something I thought I should mention. Just like I said, just the fire switch is getting loose.
Right.
I'm curious. I know these are able to be disassembled. I'm curious if I'd be able to put a thicker spring in there.
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe.
know. It's something,
anything's possible.
It's something to think about.
But I understand what you're saying. But I think you're going to get that with just about any mod after just so much use.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know what the shelf life is of a mod.
Right.
One of the other cons I have, guys, the batteries. We showed it up close. Are not bad. They're marked nicely here. However, the battery door is a little wonky.
It holds well, though.
It holds well. It's just the problem with I'm noticing with my battery door, like if I have it sitting in my cup holder, and granted it's bouncing a little bit here and there, but I will notice that one side will start to pop while the other side doesn't, and it just constantly...
The only time I've ever had my battery door come open on me is when I dropped it.
I've had it.
I got out of my truck and it slipped out of my hand.
I've had a couple times. I'm going to pick it up out of my cup holder and my battery door like right out.
Right.
But it's not the worst thing in the world.
In my opinion, outside of the Chaos by Sigelli, it's the most comfortable of these like compact mods. I love it's comfortable in the hand. I love it. It weighs nothing.
This has got a great feel in the hand. It's got a great weight. The materials, in my personal opinion, could be just a smidge nicer. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it could be a smidge nicer. If you compare this to the Sigelli Chaos, the materials are just better,
Chaos
nicer.
It feels like a higher quality piece of equipment than the Alien does. But that's not to say the Alien's not good.
Yeah, and same thing but it's the same thing with what we were talking about the Predator. The Predator has in my opinion, superior material finish on it.
I think the fit and finish is definitely better, and you can tell they probably used a little bit higher quality stuff. But regardless. For me, I've had absolutely no issues with this mod whatsoever. He has.
I did. Basically, what happened, I bought the mod. I didn't even have it for a week.
Right.
I didn't have it for a week. I didn't drop it. I didn't anything. I had to change out a coil in my big baby tank that I had. I unscrewed the tank. I put a new coil in it. I screwed it back on, and it would just keep turning. It was like it was stripped.
Right.
Come to find out, the 510 pin had actually fallen down into the casing of the mod. Not understanding what happened, we later found out that there's a weld.
The solder joint that holds the
spring.
The negative to the actual 510
had
pin
broken.
And that was letting it
However,
yep.
Called my vapor store from where I bought it from. They replaced it immediately, sent me a brand new mod, no harm, no foul, so I didn't let that sway my judgment. However, a couple of days ago, I did find out that my younger brother, who just started vaping, has an Alien mod as well, and he actually had to buy a new Alien mod because after about 7 months, he had the same problem. So it's not that that's a con; it's just a concern.
Keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah, exactly. So these are mass-produced. You're going to get a couple that are here and there. But ever since then, I've got the new one. No issues whatsoever.
Yeah,
none.
I've never had any issues with mine as far as that goes. It's a very reliable. It always
very
works.
reliable. Doesn't misfire or anything like that.
The biggest problem one of the biggest problems I had with the Predator is it would do this weird pulsing thing.
Right.
If you're taking a nice long 4 or 5 second draw, it would start pulsing. I've never had anything like that with this mod.
I've had a couple of times where I hit the fire button and I didn't get anything, but
the only
one out of every maybe 200 puffs, maybe.
I was going to say the only one thing I've ever noticed, and this has only happened to me once, put new batteries in, and when I put the batteries in and turned it on, it shot itself up to 220 watts without me realizing it. Took a hit and was like, well, that coil's done. So,
like I said,
that only happened one time, though.
I would almost say the fire button is a little bit too easily compressed, but at the same time, it's so easy, as we showed you in the up close, to lock this, that really shouldn't be a problem. I do like the screen. The menu beautiful. Aside, but the screen's nice. We showed you that on the up close, but I like the dual battery readout. I like the nice big wattage number.
It's a little cluttered to me.
A little bit.
They could lose the mode. They could basically lose the entire bottle.
Well, yeah, because The W, that tells you your mode.
They can pretty much lose the entire bottom row. Like, the puff counter, I don't care about. The PCB temperature, I could give a shit about.
Yeah.
And the mode, that could all go away. Make the second row a little bit bigger, and I would be happy. But again, I am nitpicking the shit out of this because
I don't mind the bottom row. It's just kind of, it's almost redundant. Like, okay, obviously I'm in wattage because there's a big fucking W in front of the 50. Obviously I'm in wattage.
Right.
But like I said, guys, there's really not a lot of bad things to say about it. I guess it comes down to if the FDA comes in and steals all our shit, are we going to start sucking guys off in the alley for one? Yes. I'm going to guzzle that juice.
I don't think
because
I would do that, but I would definitely go and buy another one.
I've seen what happens when you don't get a vape for a couple hours.
Right. If I were to have any problems where this one just stopped working, yes, I would buy another one. Would I recommend this to every vapor? Yep.
I honestly, I can say this with the utmost honesty, guys. I have had, since we've been doing this show, and all the comments and all the gratitude that we've gotten so far is greatly appreciated. But I've actually had friends of mine from, like, school who I have not talked to for, like, 10 years who have watched the show and have actually called me or texted me or sent me messages on Facebook or something saying, hey, Dub, I'm quitting smoking. I want to get into vaping. What do you recommend? And they give me the parameters. And almost 9 out of 10 times, I'm like, with what you're looking for, I recommend an Alien Kit. Not just the mod, but the kit. Because the kit comes with, obviously, we said this in the up close, it comes with the Baby Beast, which the Baby Beast is great. We've done that review.
It's just the Baby Beast is too small for what we
Exactly.
do.
The Big Baby, which is Big Brother.
Right. We just need the more juice capacity.
Exactly.
So, same coils. So, the vape's the same. It's just...
Obviously, yes, I recommend this mod to a lot of people. Because 100%. For the vapor who's just starting out, wants a reliable mod, a good mod, and a good-looking mod. The aesthetics of this thing are really nice.
One you're not going to outgrow because it goes up to 200, 220, whatever, 220 watts.
Yeah, you're not going to outgrow it.
It's not like when I first started vaping, my first mod was a 30-watt iStick mod. And
a blue e-cig.
Within the first 2 or 3 months, it's like, man, you know, I got a new tank, and now 30 watts is enough, so now I got to buy a new tank. Or a new mod. This isn't one of those. You know, this is going to be the guy that has a mouth to lung that he's vaping at 12 watts, or the guy that's going to have the freaking full size Cloud Beast that wants 140 watts. You know, it's
another big pro for me, and this is just me personally. I am loving how SMOK. And remember, we say SMOK. We don't call it smoke.
Refuse to call it smoke. Stupid. Sorry, I know that's stupid. I know that might be.
We don't smoke. We vape. There's a difference.
Right.
Anyway, I love how SMOK is really giving you just about any color choice on under the sun that you would want. The variety of choices for this mod are endless. I mean, and they just released a bunch of new colors.
They just finally started, instead of just doing the colored stripe, they started doing the entire mod that color or whatever.
I think they got superhero colors now, like
which is cool. Yeah.
Blue and green and all that other shit. So yeah, I mean, I'm all about this. As you can see, this one here, this is my wife's. This is that multicolor rainbow thing, and like I said, this is her everyday mod, guys, too. So obviously we misjudged this mod.
Yeah, I feel like an idiot because I just refused to even take the time to look at it.
Right,
and then one day was just
we're reviewers, so now we got to pay attention to it. And now, like I said, this and the Minikin 2 are basically my security blankets when I'm not using another mod. Well, I don't know. The Chaos is.
The Chaos is definitely, if I was going to rate, again, the star system means nothing except for whatever you want to make it.
This is solid 4 out of 5.
I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 stars.
Okay, 9 out of 10.
The Chaos, I would give a 9, 9.5 out of 10 because they're that close to the same.
The Chaos...
The Predator, now to me, honestly, if someone was like, hey, I'm looking at the Predator, I'm looking at the Alien, which one do you prefer? Alien all day. I would give the Predator a 5.
Absolutely.
Because, A, the tank it comes with is just the biggest piece of shit in the world.
Alabo.
I think one of the only worst tanks I've ever used in the Alabo was the Unimax 25.
That doesn't even qualify to be called a tank.
Right. But this comes with a solid tank. It's a solid mod. Battery life is amazing. It doesn't feel underpowered like the Predator felt underpowered.
No,
80 watts on the Predator is like 65 watts on this. Like I like the way this mod is.
This is right on par. So they did well with this. This is definitely going in the running for our mod of the year, guys.
Absolutely. Well, a mod of the year for us, just because we started the channel this year. I mean, obviously this came out almost a year ago, and again, we know.
But if you look at like different vape magazines and stuff, they still rate the Crown tank as one of the top tanks in the industry.
I would love to see a statistic on how many of these SMOK is sold. I don't know why. I would just
I would because
I would just
seriously,
love to see that.
You go up to just random people and like, oh, you got the alien. You've got the alien.
Right.
You've got the alien. And I definitely like Ryan's idea. If they do a version 2 of this, which I highly recommend they do, I'd like to see it called Aliens. Just
called the SMOK
Alien V2, Aliens.
The SMOK Aliens. But anyway, that's all we've got.
If you like the video, guys, hit the thumbs up for us. Please subscribe. Welcome all new subscribers.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Again, we said this last week, but just in the last several days, couple weeks, we've had a lot of people subscribe, and that means the world does.
Yes.
So thank you very
so
much.
We have social media, all fronts here, guys. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's all the same, at inbetween2beards, number 2, all one word. And we also have an email account. If you want to send us anything or contact us professionally or whatever, it's inbetween2beards at gmail.com.
Yep.
And I guess until next video, guys.
Vape on.
Vape on.
Movement. Signal's clean. Range 20 meters. 18. 17 meters. 15 meters. And this is a big fucking signal. 12 meters. 11. 10. 9 meters. 8 meters. 7. 6. 5 meters, man. 4. What the hell?
Let's rock!
Game over.